the Japanese. And I'm going to talk today about the Japanese visas, the ones that are going to help you get the waifu of your dreams.
Okay, well, I think it's quite conclusive. Your Honor, the defense rests.
Again, oh, you found his trick today. I will show you 3 ways you can use your...
Wait, this is the guy?
First thing we want to do is download the YouTube.
Fuck are you gonna do, bro? You skinny bitch.
So it's so
ass.
wait a minute. So it was the wrong guy anyway? That wasn't even him?
That's not him, it's Vic.
That's not him. So he just goes off on this random dude. Twitch staff simultaneously instant bans anyone who insults Hasan while does nothing while he doxes and threatens to chatter with a fire.
It's so cut up. Well, I mean, are we saying that at this point, Asmongold's not a reliable narrator? Nor is his editing?
Firearm in front of an audience. That's crazy. To pull out a gun and be waving it around on stream. Do you think Twitch will do anything? I really wonder. I've got a feeling I know the answer to that, and I've got
I don't know if you all know this. I'm not a gun guy. Not as in, like, I don't think shooting guns feels cool and manly. More that, like, I'm not a gun owner, and I don't know a ton about weapons. You know, someone was like, well, that's a caliber 9 lance, and you have to... my expertise in weaponry is from video games. I played lots and lots and lots of video games, so, you know, I know the weapons in video games. And if Ratchet and Clank has taught me anything, it's that guns they're just wild, you know? They shoot goo, they can open up portals, they can do all kinds of wild things, and it all depends on the upgrades and how often you use them. But so, yeah, I don't really know my weaponry. I was looking at the thing that Hasan was holding there. That's not a real gun. That's an air gun. AKA a toy gun. Yeah. Again, even in my limited knowledge of firearms, I was pretty quick to be like, oh shit, yeah, no, that's not a gun. That's not how guns look when you clock them. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's just, it's an air gun. That's not a real one. But anyways, apparently he was threatening people with a firearm, so maybe I should watch the Hasan stream to see how real this all was.
Whether or not the NYPD has assigned you any additional security.
You know, I'm lucky to have security throughout the day, and I appreciate the work of the NYPD.
It's time to crusade Iran and Gaza. Mamdani communists. Let's go to war against the left. Hasan Piker getting beat up soon. Mamdani is such an idiot. We will fight the left before they elect the communists. Every infidel shall be hung for treason. Hang Mamdani for treason. Hang Hasan for treason.
Man, what is with people just doing the fucking you know? Like, no one is subtle anymore. I've noticed, like, for a long time, especially the MAGA movement, they'll drop into your chats, they'll turn on caps lock, activate my secret weapon, caps lock, MAGA for life, you will be destroyed, Trump 2027, like all this shit, and you're like, whoa, shit, slow down, Jesus Christ, fucking edge yourself a little bit, baby. Like, you're going so nuts right out of the gates that, like, you gotta give yourself a chance to breathe, so no one's gonna know that you happen to just be an aggressive fucking troll. You're like, the subtlety has been lost. Whatever happened to the art of trolling, you know? Back in the day, it used to be something where people would oftentimes pretend to be perhaps a leftist. You get people in there trying to fed post a little bit, be like, hello, fellow comrades, 1312 and ACAB. Very good to see you all. So, are we going to firebomb the Walmart today, comrades? How many of you have firebombed Walmarts today? All of you are making Molotov cocktails, as I too am, as we all do every time we are here because we have been told by Hasanabi to make Molotov cocktails. Here is the recipe. I will post a link to it online right now. Thank you, comrades. Let us now go to the Walmart to firebomb it, of course. And you're just like, okay, well, yeah, little obvious, yeah, but at least there was an attempt, I feel. You know, I feel at that point, at least you could be like, well, yeah, you put a little bit of effort. There's some pageantry, you know, there's a little bit of theater to it all. It's not just people dropping in there, Hasan should be hanged, you will die, I kill you, yes, yes. Like, Jesus Christ. So I guess the true story is that Hasanabi got a death threat from a chatter. That's what happened. Why did Asmongold leave this all out, though, I wonder? What was the point of that? Kind of seems like it's incredibly important context. Prior to just being like, I mean, if you cut all that out, and then you just cut directly to the shot of him holding his air gun and walking around with his air gun, it's like, holy shit. I was walking around with a weapon. Like, you can fucking see it. I mean, is Twitch not going to take action? The guy's just walking around his room with a fucking gun, loaded gun, threatening people who are viewing him? I mean, this seems kind of unhinged.
Fuck yes. Yes.
Yes!
Okay, chatter.
Yeah, it is. That's a literal death threat that he was receiving.
Good luck.
Myself.
In making that a reality for me, but also a reality for New Yorkers at large. And ultimately, what we're seeing in President Trump's rhetoric is an attempt to focus on who I am, where I'm from, what I look like, how I sound, as opposed to what I'm actually fighting for. Because to do so would be to display the stark contrast in our sincerity and actually delivering for the very working people who've been left behind by our politics, compared with what President Trump has been able to do. You know, over the same period of time that I've been running has been the moment where President Trump ran a presidential campaign premised on making life easier for working class Americans, on making cost of living that much lower, on actually having cheaper groceries. And he's been unable and uninterested.
I think that's so cute, by the way. Chico does the same thing. Like, I'll walk around the house sometimes. I don't own an air gun. This is not air gun related, but more just like if you walk around the house and they're always just like dogs, just like, what's the action? What do we got going on? Anything for me? You got a treat? Nah? I go sleep now. Oh, wait, you're coming back. What's the action? What do you got? Treat? No? Yeah, okay, I go sleep now.
To deliver on any of that, instead focusing on cruelty in the manner that we've just heard today. And what I would tell him is that the last person who couldn't get my name right, we defeated them, and that's what it's going to look like again.
Okay, fair enough. As you may have heard, a number of business leaders in the city have been meeting in a state of, I would characterize it as panic. I'm not sure if they would agree, but they seem to be trying to rally support for Eric Adams or even for Andrew Cuomo or anybody in order to try and stop Zoran Mamdani from becoming the mayor.
Wait, this was the whole thing? He didn't say, chatter, you threaten me, I threaten you. He didn't point the gun at the chat. I feel like people are being deceptive, though. This doesn't feel real. But I mean, like, yeah, clipped from the whole of its context and just isolated, showing Hasan holding the gun in the shot. It's like, can you believe what that man has done? Can you believe it?
What would your message to them be?
Airsoft guns don't look like that. That's a real gun. Oh, God. We're going to have the airsoft gun versus real gun debate. So is the implication because it doesn't have the orange tip? I've heard that before too, as if you can't get rid of orange tips. So here's what airsoft guns can look like, just for where. Another one, I'll show you one with the orange tip. They are obviously designed to look quite convincing because people want to feel like they're holding themselves. Guns. Another one. Often the distinguishing feature between airsoft guns and real guns are the orange tip, but some of them do not feature them. Some people remove them. Some people take them off. Also, here's the ones where you can have laser scope sights on them as well, just so everyone's clear. They're not real guns in the sense that they don't fire bullets. They are air pressured. They're toy guns.
That's not him, it's...
Why are you fast forwarding like this? What's going on? Hasan is wont to point a gun in a random direction and even at himself.
In our sincerity and actually delivering for the very work.
First thing we want to do is download the YouTube VPN.
Bro, let's hang Hasan and Mamdani for treason, he said. The fuck are you gonna do? Go on a fishing expedition? Try to fucking put malware in my phone? Is that what you're gonna do? You skinny bitch. Ugly.
What happened to the right? Y'all used to talk about how it's the left that wants safe spaces. It's the left that's all soy. It's the left that can't take a joke. Comedy is dead. Make comedy legal. I have become meme. All that shit. What happened to that? You know? And I thought the right was getting better at comedy. And instead, y'all are just a bunch of fucking soy flakes. Every single one of you. Just fucking soiling yourself all over the place. Every single time I see someone post a joke, they're like, "Ah, this is a call to violence." Call to violence? Now you get right-wingers who say that you've made a death threat if you say something like "eat the rich." Like, eat the rich? You're literally saying that you're a cannibal. You're trying to eat people. Look at the fuck. This is violence. Real violence. Zionist Ethan Klein just received his latest marching orders. This time, Ethan is hypocritically crying about Hasan Piker pulling up someone's YouTube channel and waving a toy gun. Ethan is openly putting his audience at random people. Also, Ethan got involved in this. Let's see. H383 Productions. This is from the same people that drone on and on that I doxed a public-facing Instagram account for clicking on their profile. Now's the time to show you the same energy, y'all. Elsewise, the hypocrisy will be overwhelming. Not to mention how absolutely insane it is to do this while brandishing a weapon, and apparently it's not even the correct person. Do you see how nothing matters to these people? So, a couple points. One, Hasan never started showing pictures of the individual's family members, like the mother, for example, being like, "Oh, this is the mum. This is his family. How dare he?" And the person in question was not threatening to kill you. The person in question, when it came to Ethan Klein, said that I'm no longer able to support you and watch your show. In fact, I thought it was a very pragmatic, and I'll be honest, relatively mild statement. Just like, unfortunately, because of your views on Israel, I'm no longer able to support you, blah, blah, blah. And maybe someone else said something like, eat shit at the most, but that was like, as far as it went. Before, it was just like, all right, open up the shit live in front of 40,000 people. Now, here we go. And now let's go into their Instagram. Okay, and now let's show pictures of their mother and their family. Oh, look at that. I wonder if their mom's happy about the fact that their son is, you know, responding to us in kind and all that kind of shit. Massive ass difference between those two situations. Also, are you admitting that what you did was wrong? Or is it just you want the hypocrisy call out? Because it's got to be one of the two, right? You either admit that it's really fucked up for people to do that kind of stuff, especially people with massive ass platforms, or it's just the fact that, hey, by the way, if he did it, I get to do it. Everyone gets to do it. We all get a chance. So Tectone jumps in.
In deceptive practice to benefit some people while punishing others, because this bias, for example, Hasan bias, is not disclosed anywhere. It's not given out in the terms of service. When you read the terms of service, nowhere does it say everyone will be punished except for Hasan Piker. Everyone will be banned except for Hasan Piker.
Yesterday, Hasan goes live and waves a gun around at his viewer, threatens to end his life, and then doxes them. But he doxes the wrong person and then doxes.
But this never happened. Okay, so I don't know if all of these people legitimately believe all this bullshit, if they're actually doing that, or if they just watched that one deceptively edited video and that was enough for all of them to be like, this is reality. Because if you watch the Asmongold video and the way Asmongold's editors edited it, then yeah, you're watching it, you're like, that looks pretty intense. I gotta be honest with you. It really does look, when you cut out all context and everything, that Hasan just randomly lost his mind, grabbed a firearm, started pointing a firearm, you know, not directly at the camera, but, you know, just waving it around, and then afterwards was trying to pull up someone's YouTube and calling that person names. I mean, it looks really, really bad. And so, yeah. Holy shit.
This is another person. By the way, all of this is incredibly against TOS, but how is it against the law? Well, thankfully, we have a lawyer to weigh in on this.
Andrew Esquire. Interesting. This is a name that I've heard a little bit, and this is kind of what got me interested in this as a story in the first place. This is wild.
About a year and a half.
Do you do it in full? Okay, so you stop. I would say that's definitely transformative. You go back, keep watching it. You comment. See, as much as I think this guy, and I'm going to show you that he's an absolute creep, is a creep. Goes through 9 minutes, 12 minutes. Oh, he works his way through, the totality of it. I guess I got to put on my disclaimer here. Hold on one second. Because unlike Legal Mindset, I'm not an actual lawyer, so I can't give you any legal advice. But again, it is a field that I used to have to work in digital distribution. So I want to bring this up just for the fact of the matter. I would rate this, if I was a lawyer and I was trying to tell someone about transformative material, as successfully transformative. This is me saying this about someone who I think is a scumbag. But either way, I think the precedent is more important than the content producer in this case. And so even if I disagree with this man, you know, in the words of, was it Churchill, who said, I will defend to the death, you're right to say it. What he appears to be doing here is playing small bits of it and then cutting to, reacting in great detail, adding a lot of transformative content to it in order to criticize it for the purposes of education. You could say is transformative of Ethan Klein's original content. I'm suing these 3 creators. And that's probably for people who have, say, YouTube channels like him, a good thing. It's a good thing that fair use or fair dealing in UK and Canada exists, right? Because otherwise the very idea of even reacting to someone live for the performance of having your audience watch it would be very, very scary, which is the world that Ethan Klein is trying to create. You got to worry right now whether or not you watch an Ethan Klein video live on your streams. Because if you watch it live on your streams and Ethan Klein doesn't like what you say about him, he could get quite litigious because he claims that his original content nuke is his intellectual property. But I want to say something here. For Ethan Klein to be able to say that he owns the original copyright to his video, The Content Nuke, he has to be able to demonstrate, again, that he in fact was using other people's copyright material, of which is a large percentage of those, hour and 45 minutes or however long it is. He takes a lot of content that comes directly from Denims, that comes from Froken, that comes from, more than anyone, Hasanabi, and uses that within his own content nuke. So he's saying that that is still my intellectual property. And yet when you go through his content nuke, he doesn't indicate at any point where the clips come from, who the original copyright holder is, which you have to do. You have to demonstrate that on the screen. He doesn't put that into the description. There's no credits at the end of the video. So again, even though he's like, well, I registered it, it's my intellectual property. So I can sue you because you played my intellectual property on your stream. You didn't get my express permission. And the thing that he's also added is that they said that they were doing it intentionally so you wouldn't give him the views. So they in fact were doing it with wanton malice, I guess is the implication there. Again, I personally believe, as a non-lawyer who doesn't have any legal expertise, that it's frivolous, it's entirely being done in order to silence critics, and that, again, if it made it all the way to the judge or a jury, that they would basically find a lot of reasons to disagree with the fact that he not only owned the original copyright material, but that the people who had been commenting or criticizing it were transformative. But again, you know, Legal Mindset is the lawyer. I'm just a clown on the internet. That's the big difference, you know, between them. Did I say wanton malice? Well, I'm fine with saying that, you know? Maybe both.
To be honest, I was surprised when it played out this way, when it played out the copyright angle versus a defamation angle or some other sort of angle. So this is actually, to me, was kind of surprising, and it was an interesting surprise, but actually a pleasant one because it gives me an opportunity to talk about the law in an objective way without going into the personalities themselves. So a pleasant surprise.
Now, the thing is,
They're going into the personalities themselves. So if you scroll through, again, Legal Mindset's channel, so much of it is about Johnny Somali. And yeah, it's like if you watch The Leftist Mafia, there's one person who always donates money every week to be like, have you heard the latest news about Johnny Somali? Something that like none of us really pay a lot of attention to or talk about. He just seems like a massive piece of shit who travels to other countries and acts like a massive piece of shit. That's the extent of my knowledge on Johnny Somali, which is kind of funny seeing how much content is dedicated directly to Johnny Somali. So once he found a really popular way to farm, because people really liked his Johnny Somali content, like Jesus, it's just video after 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 video. And then we have Destiny versus Chud Logic, potentially criminal. Okay, and now we're getting to Elon Musk was legally trapped by baby mama. Okay, Destiny's legal excuses don't matter. Scrolling down. She won't surrender. Gina Carano versus Disney. Case update. Okay. Lawsuit heats up. So he talked a little bit about the Destiny lawsuit as well. And then more Johnny Somali content. More Johnny Somali content. Jesus. More Johnny Somali content. Talking about the ad apocalypse, but then back to more Johnny Somali content. I mean, you know, why bite the hand that feeds? Clearly you found your lane. And it happens to be doing nonstop. So the Asmongold ban is there. We just keep on scrolling. A lot of content on VTubers. Smashed AT legally dunks on Alyssa Mercante's demands. Otaku Alyssa Mercante sends insane cease and desist letter. Lawyer reviews. My God. It kind of feels like this happens to be a very right-wing reactionary channel. Cancel them. Woke stars cancel campaign targets. Nerdotic, geeks and gamers. Adding them too. My friends. Oh, that's weird. Dr. Disrespect counterattacks Twitch. Epic backfire. Wow. Legal impotence. The UK cannot extradite people over tweets. Talking about Tommy Robinson. We got more stuff about Gina Carano. Gina Carano beats Disney. Huge courtroom victory. Lawyer reacts to bad takes. Gatekeeping 101. More updates on Dr. Disrespect. Why was he demonetized? The allegations. Disney discrimination. Disney executives confesses over discrimination. Full video review. Oh my God. Death sentence. Any colors black future. More anti-Alyssa Mercante content. More anti-Disney is woke content. More anti-woke content. More anti-woke content. Anti-denims content. More anti-woke content. I mean, at least at this point, he's still not talking about Johnny Somali every other video. Although you can see that some videos just aren't getting the same traction as the Johnny Somali content was getting. So obviously, I think that's one of the reasons. More anti-Disney is woke content. More pro-Gina Carano content. More anti-Disney is woke content.
Hey, man.
Twitch has a brand new Hasan problem, and this one could have huge.
He's a Passport Bro service. What? I didn't know about that. GoEastGentleman.com. What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go east. Are you the one who's dreaming of moving to East or Southeast Asia, but feeling overwhelmed or unsure about how to make it happen? Do you crave adventure, cultural immersion, new opportunities, but don't know where to start or who to trust? If so, you've come to the right place. As seen on YouTube, the Go East process. Research. Before you step on the plane, Go East Gentleman will provide you updated information on everything you'll need. Scout will help you plan an effective scouting trip to ensure your intended destination matches up with expectations to give an accurate preview of your new life. Move. The most important part is the hardest step to go. Boarding the plane to the next chapter of your story is a life-changing experience. Who we are. Go East Gentlemen exists to serve regular men and women living in the United States, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Western Europe. Regardless if you're a college graduate, dropout, or opt-out, there's a path to start your career in Asia. If you want to work, study, or just explore Asia, Go East Gentleman helps you get started. Mid-career professionals, tired of the job at the firm, the rat race, the corporate ladder, we can help you take all the skills you learned from the West frontiers of the East. We'll guide you down the best path forward to setting up a more fulfilling life. Business owners, consultants, digital nomads, other ladies and gentlemen, what we offer. Books, events, consulting courses. I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily Passport Bro. It's Passport Bro adjacent. It's kind of icky, but it's not like the women on the other side will do whatever you want kind of stuff. No books yet. They're coming soon. Events. That's a little bit in the past. Do you live in these countries? No courses. Those are coming soon as well. Consultations. Also coming. I'm sorry, sir. What do you offer? Oh, okay. Denims, Caseytron. They're all... Now, this is their equivalent, I guess, of Legal Eagle, except way weirder and creepier. And he's just basically a right-wing reactionary channel on the YouTubes, as far as that goes. But this weird relocation information is a little bit interesting. Easy visas.
You're out there looking for the Yandere girls. You're out there looking for the kawaii girls, the super.
Okay, well, never mind. It's 100% a Pass Pro Bow site. He was, you see, he was a little bit sneaky. A little bit sneaky in that when it starts out, the whole website, I mean, what's it called? Go East Gentlemen. GoEastGentlemen.com. But he added in the description that it was also for women, which, you know, we'll send a little people off course. Like, okay, so this is not about, like, you know, sex perverts just simply traveling to other countries to try and, again, take advantage of the women there. This is not a passport bro by definition website. This is about relocating your life to have a better life somewhere else.
Super cute ones. Yes, the Japanese. And I'm going to talk today about the Japanese visas, the ones that are going to help you get the waifu of your dreams.
Okay, well, I think it's quite conclusive, Your Honor. The defense rests. That's pretty much all you need to know there.
Systems, and I understand travel. I have been to Latin America. I have seen the countries I've traveled around. I've been to a level of English fluency. That might be something that works for you, and it brings you the benefits of Asia. It gets you over this direction where you have so much more opportunity, diversity, economics. It works out so much better for you when you're on the Asian side. And I would tell anyone who wants to come over here for the purposes of dating, of meeting someone, you can meet very, very fun feminine women of various types. You can have ones that are more religiously conservative. You can have Buddhists, Muslims, Christians. These are all available over here in Asia. Whereas there's a smaller pool of women, and they're of a certain, more of a certain type in Latin America. And no shame on that. If you like that, you like that. But it's a huge difference when you go from one to the other. And I think there's way more diversity options here in Asia, as well as options to live different sorts of lives. You have great opportunity for establishing a family over here through dating, or just casual dating. These things can be worked out in different countries in different ways over here in Asia, whereas you're kind of falling into a fairly template model in South America. And last but not least, there's some lifestyle differences. And I will say this, there are countries over here that certainly have crime. Asia is not crime-free.
I could be wrong, but I think this thumbnail, because it's so small. Oh, God.
Particularly,
wait, I want to see the thumbnail. Asia versus Latin America. Oh, so this is its own channel. Go East. Avoid this tie trap.
Because at the end of the day, as somebody who's an expat, I think it does behoove you to learn the language if you're going to live in a country for a long time. And I have recently, come to the conclusion that I'm going to be in Thailand at least part of the year, for at least at a minimum a significant part of the year for the foreseeable future, right? So 5-10 years from now, I'll at least be spending part of the year in Thailand.
Who is this? This is the lawyer channel that apparently Ethan Klein and now Asmongold Tectone are all using as a reference point to be like, oh shit, everyone's fucked. Hasan's fucked. This lawyer says so. Look at this lawyer. Look at my lawyer, dog. Kind of shit. Same thing for like Frogan's, Denim's, all the lawsuits of Ethan. It's like, hey, this lawyer is being like, they're fucked. And Ethan Klein is even sharing videos of this guy on his Instagram now. But when you do a little bit of a deep dive, yeah, it's absolutely 100% the case that he is someone who has clearly left the United States for pretty self-evident reasons, who is doing there's an entire course for passport bros to try and be like, are you looking for the waifu, the woman of your dreams? You can really achieve all your goals if you follow my simple course.
Right, which is where it kicks off in my head of, okay, I'm going to commit to really learning this language and putting more time in when I'm actually understanding. That gives me a deep level.
See, that one was just clickbait. Because obviously you look at this picture and it's like, what is he talking about? Oh, this one's about language. Okay, I understand. And then there's Johnny Somali. This is partly why he hates Johnny Somali. He's like, Johnny Somali is ruining it for the rest of us. Thailand getting crazy. Okay. Japan goes digital slowly. Korean visas. Like, it really does seem like he's absolutely fetishizing women in a lot of the thumbnails too, right? When he actually talks about these kind of things. But this channel is like, it's also completely dead. Like, this one never picked up at all. It wasn't until he had his other channel starting to talk about Johnny Somali that I think he got any traction at all. Why you need to leave Canada? Oh no. Eastern Europe. Okay, so here's the two. Yeah. Asia versus Latin America. Sorry, you can't see it. I'll blow this up for everybody. There's a very clear stylistic and artistic choice being done by the thumbnails that he is making for his, again, how to flee and go to either Asia or Latin America as an American. Also, the fact that he's like branding the entire thing as like your civilization is collapsing, here's all the reasons you need to leave the West. It doesn't matter if you live in America, in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or in Europe. You need to immediately, as an American, especially if you happen to be a white man, get up and travel to these countries, because the choice is pretty clear between the two options, whether or not you should be deciding. Like, yeah, no, this is 100% a Passport Bro channel, and I guess course or program, trying to be like, hey, by the way, are you having difficulty meeting women in your own country? Well, thanks to the economic disparity and the fact that you happen to have an American visa, when you go to these countries, you can really take advantage of the incredibly sexy women that all stay there. Are you looking for the waifu of your dreams? Who made this website? Jesus Christ. I mean, it's a steal, right? Instead of paying the $10,000 for the 4 payment option, you can save $6,000. But wait, what do you get? Great news, we've created a huge bundle of courses available at a major discount, the Self-Defense American Law. This new bundle includes every course. You'll learn about law, eminent domain, easements, actually own... But wait, did you get any accreditation? Can you do anything with this? As a licensed Florida attorney with over a decade who fled the country, apparently, Andrew works remotely. Why is that? Oh God, who is this? Who are these people? Are these the same courses taught in law school? These courses will be taught in the same manner as experienced by Dean Andrew Breka and the attorney Andrew Esquire when they took the subject. Sorry, you're selling a simulation of your law school experience for $6,000. Oh man, I feel so bad for anyone who got roped into this grift. I assume it's got to be at least one person, probably not more than 10, but at least one person was like, oh, I like this guy. He makes all those videos on Johnny Somali. Maybe I too can become a lawyer. And so you're like, all I got to do is take his course. It's basically a recreation of what his law school experience was like. That they took in their first years of law school, but with extra emphasis on our rights and liberty within the law. Like those courses, this one requires a final exam to be passed for certification. Certification for what? Your own lived experience? This course is not accredited by any academic organization. So just give me money to try and live my best recollection of what it was like when I went to law school. Awesome, bro. Here's the time the courses take place. Wow, you actually have to attend classes. Can anyone attend these courses? It's open registration. Really? What? There's no requirements to get into your own personal law school? That's wild. Can I bring my spouse as a guest? It is expected that every person accessing the course content will be a registered student. Yeah, no freebies. Come on. You know, if you have a wife, she's not allowed to watch you take the fake law school course and then learn on her own. She might also be uncredited. What if I cannot attend a particular live module? If you cannot attend one of the live modules, we will provide you with access to a recording of the live module. Why not just give people that? In fact, that's probably what it is. Because you could record a live course and then broadcast that at any time. So tell people, yes, these are actual courses you have to attend, but just hit play on VLC, sit back, and then go do something else, I guess wherever you are, in Thailand or Korea at the time. And then afterwards be like, okay, well, that was a live session. Thank you very much. Yeah. Is there a refund policy? I hope so. A 50% refund. So if you wanted to get out of this, because you actually read through the frequently asked questions, you could get half of it back. This is the 4 payment option, but the single payment option is cheaper. So you'll have to pay $6,000 overall if you do it in 4 easy payments, but you could do it in one course for $3,000. I just can't believe the audacity some folk have online, where it's just like, what are you selling? I'm selling you basically my best recollection of what my own personal first year of law school was like for $6,000. You get nothing. Like literally nothing. Like this is worse than sitting down and having a friend tell you what his first year of law school was like. You'd be like, yeah, okay, shut the fuck up. This is boring as fuck. I'm done. Like, no, you need to pay me $6,000. I just gave you a law course. Meet another person, an attorney. My God. You carry a gun, so you're hard to kill. Know the law, so you're hard to convict. Actual line. You carry a gun, so you're hard to kill. Know the law, so you're hard to convict. Oh my God. I gotta say, you know, the jury might be out on this one, but Ethan Klein, boy, did you ever pick a fucking weirdo to try and defend yourself. I hope your actual lawyers are better than your YouTube lawyer.
Daily Hasan problem, man. It's great.
Repercussions, both legal and non-legal. We're going to get into that today.
Okay.
Of course, on the legal mindset, we teach you to...
Now it's all making way more sense, too. Now I get why Tectone kind of feels a vibe with this dude, right? Like, Tectone is also accused of sexual assault himself. Like, I'm not saying also as in this man is accused of it. I'm saying also as in his father was actually a prolific rapist within the military. So bad, in fact, that they actually tried to pass bills to protect women within the military from Tectone's father. And then Tectone himself has been accused of sexual assault. And so, I mean, if you can find a lawyer who also happens to be a passport bro who's got a course, I mean, I can put that in quotation marks because we're not entirely sure if that course is directly supposed to entice you sexually to be able to travel somewhere else, to be able to have easy sex with the locals.
Be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney.
I highly recommend everybody watching this video right now go subscribe to Legal Mindset and support.
It is. There it is. Hey, by the way, not only that, you might even be able to get yourselves a course. I mean, if you watch Legal Mindset and you're like, how does this triple digit IQ titan accomplish what he does every day? He actually sells you the ability to do it on your own. It's not accredited. It gets you virtually nothing. In fact, I would actually say that if you tried to apply for a job saying that this was one of the things that you're listing in your resume, you'll be laughed out of the room. But you get to relive his own first year of law school. That's fun, right? For $6,000.
The original channel as well. I just like getting informed on everything, and obviously pretty soon I'm going to be getting very involved with the law, and I want to make sure that I am ready to dissect my enemies.
Attorney, and I'm bringing...
Oh, are you getting litigious, or are you trying to defend yourself from a criminal investigation for sex crimes? It's hard to tell what you meant by that. Could be in either direction, though. Yeah. So again, Tectone, defend yourself from sex crimes, or you want to get litigious against other people? Either way.
You this fast facts premiere, a quick and dirty version, while I once again on a short vacation in lovely Phuket, Thailand. So another hotel.
It's the Jordan Peterson University of Law School, 100%. Again, yeah, they're not alone on this, right? There's a lot of people who sell this. I mean, Andrew Tate has shown that this is a very profitable format. If you happen to have a large audience that also wants to have and emulate the things you have, well, why not sell them a course? And in Andrew Tate's case, it's just access to a Discord. You spend thousands of dollars, you get access to a Discord, where in that Discord, you've got a whole bunch of videos that you can watch. So you go through the videos, and Andrew Tate doesn't have to do shit. He sits back and has all these minions who, on his behalf, are now making the videos and selling the courses and all that kind of stuff. But then Sneeko saw all that. It was like, oh shit, okay, well, I will do the same thing. So Sneeko sells a betterment course on how to be a real man, how to make money, how to get women, all that kind of shit, which is kind of weird from the dude who actually became like a far-right extremist in large part because he was cucked. But either way, you can buy that course and you can go down that road. And then Jordan Peterson, in similar vein, is like, I hate the wokeness of universities and all that other shit, so I'm going to sell you a non-woke university experience. It's going to be just as expensive, but you're not going to actually get anything for it. That's the thing at the end of the road that everyone has to recognize, by the way, is that you don't get anything for any of these, right? Like, even if you are learning information, most of it is also information you can get for free, publicly available on the internets. You don't get accreditation. Like, as much as you can, like, there's a ton of things you can say that are wrong with universities, that are wrong with certain law schools, all that kind of stuff. But if you go to law school and then you pass the bar and then you become a lawyer, you can practice law. If you just take an online course, you can't do any of that. And again, if you brought it to a job application, they would laugh you out of the room. That includes Jordan Peterson, you. If you were like, oh, what's your expertise? What experience do you have? What education do you have that allows you to want to apply for this position? Jordan Peterson University. I took courses by the intellectual dark web, Brett Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Joe Rogan. I've learned so many things about wokeness, about destroying the woke mind virus. I know how to make the vaccine for the woke mind virus, but I can't because vaccines are woke, so it kind of got me in a position here. It's really hard. I don't know what to do. But yes, you hire me, please. No, an employer is going to laugh you out of the room. And it sucks because I think a lot of the people who are falling into these traps are obviously desperate men. Desperate men are the ones who are going to be signing up for the Jordan Peterson course or the Andrew Tate course or the Sneaku course or any of those kind of things. But they're leading you down a pathway where you're going to become progressively more miserable and lonely because you're going to be broke. Because you spend all your money on the Jordan Peterson University or any fool that spent $3,000 to $6,000 to learn about what his fucking university experience was like. Let him tell you about his college experience, but pretend it's a law school course. Brilliant. And then afterwards, you're going to have a lot of problems. You won't be able to get a job based on any of this. None of this is actually going to help you in your life. And then you're probably going to spiral afterwards because it's I'm deeply in debt to Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson or this fucking clown. And now, in addition to that, I have to figure out what my next move is. It really sucks.
Room another place, but still bringing you the freshest news. So make sure you like this video if you like the fast facts versions. So let's get right into it. Twitch has always taken a preferential stance when it comes to enforcing its guidelines, or at least it, when looking at its terms of service, has not always applied those equally to all groups and people. And
that is crazy how a lawyer would also acknowledge that. And that makes me feel very vindicated and validated in my stance, where I think more and more with every passing day, people understand that I'm like a fucking martyr for this platform. And I've been punished wrongly over and over and over again. And I will not stop until Dan Clancy gets on his fucking hands and knees and sings me happy birthday, just like
I can't tell you how many times it's profoundly funny that at its core, so much of this, the hatred of Hasan, comes down to very demonstrable jealousy. Yeah, he's so handsome. All the women love him. And some of the men. Staff sing him happy birthday. Don't sing me happy birthday. You know what I gotta say? A message for Dan Clancy. You want some drama? Yeah, I'm on Twitch right now, live, and I'm going to speak to the CEO of Twitch. That's right, Dan Clancy. I'm here to say something to you, to say something to everyone who works at Twitch and the Twitch staff. Bravo. Bravo. I didn't think at this point, honestly, that with the amount of pressure that all these ghouls have been applying to try and masquerade around and say that this is actually an important cause that you have to worry about, where they've all been trying to take down Hasan for one reason or another, when at the centerpiece of everything that they are going after Hasan for really seems to go down to the fact that he's speaking out against the genocide of Palestinians. And in a world in which mainstream media is often pushing the narrative and normalizing and dehumanizing the idea of the genocide of Palestinians, because this is what you'll get if you turn on the television or you read the newspaper or something like that. It's actually quite shocking to see that despite so many people who are horrifyingly bad individuals, many of them sex criminals, they've been trying to push this narrative for so long that taking down Hasan is the start. If they can get rid of Hasan, they can obviously get rid of all these other streamers who also speak up or speak about Palestinian causes, because if you look at, say, Denims, Frogan, Caseytron, to a lesser extent, she doesn't spend as much time speaking about distinctly politics involving the Middle East, but obviously people who have been critical of Ethan Klein and Ethan Klein's attempts at trying to separate his hatred of Hasan from the issue of Israel-Palestine, all that kind of stuff. The overwhelming amount of pressure, it really felt at a certain point that Dan Saltman or another one of these people who were constantly fabricating racist narratives was going to see a victory, was going to finally be able to take down Hasanabi. Because if they take down Hasanabi, then so many other streamers are going to be terrified, right? Why'd they take him down? Was that because he used the word Zionist? Was that because he spoke about war crimes? Can you show war crimes? Can you talk about war crimes? Really making a dangerous atmosphere that defends, again, a genocidal regime or defends empires who are doing atrocities in the world. And for people like me, much smaller streamers who are a lot more terrified about what I can or cannot do at any given time and try to follow the TOS as best as you can, it puts you in a position or a bind where you're always worried. You're always kind of like, oh, yeah, I do want to speak about, the 96 people who were killed in Gaza today, who who were trying to get food for their families, who were then shot, and it's a horrifying war crime done by the IDF. But I'm worried if I do, then, you know, I'm going to get a very, very strong campaign of a lot of other streamers, such as, you know, Dan Saltman, Destiny, Ethan Klein, etc., suddenly trying to accuse me simply of, by virtue of speaking about this, of being anti-Semitic. And then once someone claims that you're anti-Semitic, well, then they're going to be able to say that, well, that person's just a racist, and they're trying to, you know, again, do racism on the platform. But there has been a long-standing campaign to take Hasan down for those very reasons, but it hasn't worked.
Don't let this happen to you. Go to serfscoffee.com to order the only end-to-end owned indigenous coffee company that delivers blood-free, conflict-free, and cruelty-free beans right to your door. 0% of people who drink serfscoffee.com have exploded spontaneously. By ordering right now, you get 10% off plus free shipping, and it's the best way to enjoy delicious coffee while not exploding. That's serfscoffee.com, serfscoffee.com.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This video wouldn't be at all possible without the financial support of all the people whose names you see on the screen right now. And if you want to unlock secret bonus episodes, content that we can't post anywhere else, or get the videos early before anyone else gets to see them, please go on to patreon.com/theserfs. For as little as $1, you can help support this channel and help make more videos like this possible. Our executive producers are Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Garrett Sandoval, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Boehm, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Tigwick, Trav, and Words Greenwood. And also, it wouldn't be possible without all the names you see on the screen right now. Again,